Hey team, welcome back to another episode of the Jenn Commandments podcast. I am your host, Jenn Wien. I'm an engineer currently working in Wisconsin. I grew up in the Chicagoland area and I went to college in Michigan. Hey, how are you? It's been a little bit since it really hasn't been that long, but I have basically not sat since um, since the last time I've spoken to just the camera. And so it feels like I've learned 10,000 things. It feels like I'm a whole different person, which is really cool, really fun. But the first thing I want to discuss is Brittney's episode. We're going to discuss it later too, because I figured the best way to go about this is just to like go in chronological order of what's happened since the last time that I spoke to you all, which was the Little Women episode. And then I didn't even talk about anything. Okay. I hope that you all loved Brittney as much as I do. That woman is one of my favorite people in the whole world. I have lived and died for her since we were in high school, and I will continue to live and die for her as long as she needs me to. Like I love that woman. So I really hope that I think I was just so in awe and wanted her to tell her story that when I was editing the episode, I was like, oh, you're very quiet. And like, you guys didn't even get to see really what our relationship is, but like, I feel so comfortable with her that I don't feel the need to like be anything. So I think that's another good indicator for y'all to know of like, when I am really, really comfortable with people, like I'm quiet, sort of. So I don't know. Yeah, I love her so bad. And I'm so glad that she got to tell her story in a way that makes her feel like it's her own. And I don't know. I'm so very proud of her. And yeah, that's all. I just thank you all for listening to the episode. It was very well received. And yeah, I'm very grateful, and I got some other inquiries to be on the pod too from it, and so that's really cool too. Yeah, I like the way that I go about it is I just sort of anyone that I think could be interesting, and I haven't reached out to everyone that I think is interesting, but like um I think our human stories are so cool, and so basically I just like go back in people's social media from like the time that I knew them until now. And I'm like, I just research about their life and ask them questions about it. And that's really fun for me. I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun with that. So thank you all for listening and enjoying and like wanting to be a part of it. I think that's so cool. But yeah. Anyway, uh, we're gonna start from the last time that I recorded the podcast, other than when I recorded with Brittney, was the Little Women episode. And from there, that was Saturday. And then on the 13th, it was my friend's birthday. So we went to a Bucks game. That was the first time I'd ever been to a professional basketball game. It was really fun. We had so much fun. And I don't know. It was I think it was like the last regular season game. And I don't know. That was the first time I had gone to the Bucks Stadium for a game. I'd usually just been there for concerts. So, I don't know. It was a lot of fun. We had so much fun. And then from there, I drove down to Tinley, because I had court in Joliet the next day. So I stayed in a hotel for the night, so that I had a place close-ish. I didn't want to be super like in Joliet for the night, just because like, ugh, I don't want to be near homeboy. So that's the tea on that. And then my lawyer had told me that we could meet between like 7:30 and 8 for court, or like to like prep for court because my hearing was at 9. Um, and so I got there a little early. I did like record some videos like vlog style. And I don't, I think it's just going to be for me of like, I'm going to be able to reflect back on where this sort of like activism and passion coming into sort of what I'm passionate about into that world. I want to have those documentations of like how far I will have came and that sort of thing. So I feel really I feel really I felt a little silly doing it, but I'm glad that I have it now cuz like I have the video of like in the morning of like, hey, I'm about to meet my lawyer. We're hoping for like smooth results. Like that not happening. And so like I think it's nice to have, and I think that it's important to look at those moments beforehand and be like, okay, was that realistic? Was that hope realistic? One, because like you have to go back and analyze after it's like very clearly like not that, of like, okay, was it goofy to be that? Because I wasn't necessarily worried. I was very anxious, but I thought my anxiety was sort of misplaced. I thought it would be easy for a judge to see that like a man is being whiny because his actions are coming back to haunt him. But like I had to go back and analyze, what are the things that I can take accountability for, and how can I alter those things moving forward to still yield the results that I've wanted to yield, right? Because okay, clearly this tactic, which is like talking shit online, has yielded some results, definitely. Like some very crazy results actually. Like the amount of momentum that we've been able to yield by sort of just talking shit in a Facebook group is crazy and excellent, and like really shows the power of unification and like a community coming together for a collective goal, right? And I think that that's awesome. And I don't regret or think any of that is wrong. But also, it was naive of me to think that that was going to be enough forever and that would at some point not yield consequences, right? So, because we were yielding lots and lots of positive consequences, right? But those negative, that there's bound to be a few, right? And so I look at this one as an annoyance. That's first and foremost. That's what I view it as. And nearly nothing more than that on a negative level. That is the only negative feeling I have about the results of the no contact order being placed on me. It's a minor annoyance that I am going to have to navigate, right? Such as every other perceived negative life event that I've faced, right? I did, of course, I've now unpacked this over the course of 2 therapy sessions since I've recorded last. And so had I recorded this maybe a week prior to this, I would be saying very different things right now. Right. But now that I've had time to sort of sit back and like figure out how I truly feel about everything. Cause like I had a therapy session where I was not not screaming, but like I was like, I would have rather the judge spit in my face and told me that he just wanted me to shut the fuck up than give me this poor ass excuse that is the evidence that was allowed to be evidence, you know, like incomplete sentences, like just like miscellaneous screenshots. Just like I feel terrible that like that's the feeling that I have around it. Um because like I respect the judicial system, and I know that there's not a lot of reason to feel hope about a lot of things right now, but like I have to hope that there are like judges at the end of the day who truly want to make the best decisions for their civilians, you know, like especially at the local level. So that's why I went into it with like not a lot of anxiety, you know, because like I have always known that my intentions are net good, you know. I've never had malicious intentions for anything that I've ever done, you know, unless I have, and at which point I would let you know, you know. And like not be really ashamed of it at all, you know. Um and I don't know, it just like is what it is. And yeah, let me look at the notes that I have. So the only way that I could get myself to write the notes for the episode today was if I wrote it grocery store list style. So love that for me. um Here's what I learned. Here's what I learned about my own court case. This just reflects what I have experienced and what I've seen from my own proceedings. This is just information. You can just do with it what you will. So, um, I learned that Puma members threatened to walk if this specific man came back to coach for them. This was in said miscellaneous screenshot that was attached to my court hearing. Um, and there's a lot of times where like I'm really dry and you can't tell whether I'm being genuine or not. And I want you to know right now that like I'm being 100% authentic and I'm being sincere. If you are a Pumas player, a current Pumas player, and you were one of the people who stood up and said, okay, if this man comes back, we'll step away. One, I want you to know that I know how incredibly difficult that decision is and how incredibly frustrating and anger, like maddening it can be that something that you are passionate about and something that you love doing is at stake because the people who are superior to you don't care whether or not the right thing happens, and you have to be the one that steps in. I want you to know that I am so very proud of you to be the one that steps in, and for the superiors to care enough about your athleticism or whatever the case may be that it was enough for them to yield action. Congratulations. And like to those superiors who respected their players enough to make those changes, thank you. I know it doesn't matter why you do the right thing. At the end of the day, it matters that the right thing happened and you guys did the right thing. So I think that's a net positive. And to those players, thank you for believing women. I know that it is not an easy thing to do all the time, to be the one to be like, no, that's bullshit, actually. So I just want to let you know, like, you're seen. I'm very, very proud and like happy to hear that. Um, and thank you. So that's number one. That's the first thing that I learned through my um, proceedings and the evidence that was given for my case. And then the second thing that I learned was I have had former Puma players reach out to me, just one, but he has um, discussed with other Puma players, and they have all been in agreement that this is no surprise. And did we think so? Say it with me, class. No! Of course not. Of course not. It hasn't been, it has been an open secret within the community for decades. The way that the evidence is presented, it feels like it's trying to be presented as like that organization against me, but it's not. The screenshot itself says that they don't want anything to do with it. And they don't have anything to do with it. They did the right thing, they washed their hands of it, and now they have nothing to do with it. They did everything right, as far as I'm concerned. But what I learned for activism is my voice sort of means something now in this space, and it's yielded results a couple times. And so, what that means now is that I have to be really, really, really certain with what I put my name and what I put action forth towards now. So, now that we're just divvying up the repeat offenders and trying to systemically get them out of places where there are children, um, I need to have like a process on how to know when to put my, like, I don't know, it feels so weird, and this is something that I've really, really unpacked in therapy the last couple weeks, of like, it feels crazy to be the one to like have to be like, I wholly believe this victim, and I wholly believe this victim's parent. And however, before I can just like act, I can't jump the gun. And I've come to terms. I take accountability. You know what I mean? But there are things that I need to take into consideration now. And like, I just need to have a better process of how to, when to act and when to keep that on the back burner, compile evidence, and then use it for a bigger thing, Because I think that's the sort of next step for this, of like, a lot of the activism that needs to happen now is like, I have some action items actually. Oh, another thing before I get into the action items, I need to look into like local jurisdictions, like if I'm going to be working with people in a specific area, of like what those connections look like, what the like general populace, what the like legal system looks like, what's their history of certain things, that sort of thing. So I need to like get into that. And then I also need to look into some local activist groups, of like, are there local activist groups for this sort of thing? And if not, can we open a chapter of like a big organization in our area? We could do like a South Suburbs, Northwest Indiana chapter or something. I don't know. I think that could be cool. I don't know. Another thing that I would like to do in the long term is, as I get better at this interview process, I would like to start doing compiling evidence in interviews, and like witness it. I'm ready to start taking interviews and compiling evidence and like that sort of thing. I think it'll be a while before I like, I really need to like get some other shit that's like a long down the road thing. I need to get this shit together first, right? I need to like get a local thing going, and we need to get some like help and stuff first. But I do think that this is something that we care enough about, and I think, I don't know. I see good things for, there's nothing that bad that can come from having a local group that is seeking out the known predators in the area. Like that, like, yeah, I don't know. So that's the tea on that. So my action items are create a website with like info of like missions, maybe like a mission statement, and then like an inquiry form where it's like, okay, say that you've had an experience within like these towns, in the school system or like the local extracurricular stuff, right? And like, let us know let us know if you have evidence. What are your court proceedings looking like? And then like, even we can start this like little database ourselves, of like, if there are repeat offenders, that can be like, I don't know. I think this is worth, yeah. That's what I'm seeing right now, is like a website with info and an inquiry form. I want to study some cases that help change children's safety, like Amber Alerts and that sort of thing. I need to start studying that sort of thing. I think that would be good. I'd like to, this is just like a personal thing, but I would like to schedule time in my week to dedicate to this the same way that I schedule time in my week to dedicate to the podcast. Like, this is another passion project of mine. And so I would like, it deserves dedicated time to it. So that's the tea on that. Talked about that. Oh, eventually, I'd really like to. We talked about that a little bit, like, be a part of a bigger organization. I know that, like, even this is unrelated to the work I'm doing right now, but Caleb Heron had somebody on his podcast. I forget their name right now, but they run like a big renters union in Kansas City, and like they fight for like tenant, it's a tenant union. So like they advocate for like, hey, if y'all don't fix this shit in my apartment, like we're not paying rent. And like I think that would be really dope, of like, no, charge us equitable, like, I don't know. I think that's another cool thing that we could also bring to the community. There's just like there's a lot of good that can come from us being more invested with one another, and then also getting help from bigger chat, like bigger organizations in the country. We got to start like bringing things home, so that's what I'm thinking of. And then eventually I'd like to do like maybe like a monthly meeting with like newsletters that come out. And I think that it doesn't have to be just like this sort of thing. It could also be like, I don't know, people could like showcase their art, and I don't know, it could be, I don't know. I would like to do something like that too. And I don't know. I think that we deserve like a space where we encourage each other to advocate for one another and advocate for women feeling safe in spaces, specifically ones that like they're like, we're not talking about women, we're talking about girls, like why I don't know. I don't even want to get into it without like maybe getting silenced again. I'm like sort of I'm trying to be as careful as I can. I know that it doesn't seem like I'm being careful, but like I am. So yeah, that's sort of those are my action items. That's sort of what I want to work on. And I don't know. I feel good about the future of this and like I don't know. We'll see. And if it flops, then we'll try something else. Something will hit. You know, and that's what we're banking on. um, so after I had court and it went bad, then I went and I drove up to good old Stager and the motherland, and one of my longtime besties. We recently just like reconnected again, and I've done that. I've done a lot of coming home to people in the last year or two, and like mending familial relationships that um, I knew were important to me, but I was like scared to admit that they were important to me, or like scared of the rejection that I might face because of it. I don't know. I think I was just like scared to need people, you know? And so I anyway, we she and I met up and we were gonna go to the new what is it? The brewery, Homewood Brewing Company or something, whatever. The one that Juice's mom just opened. We were gonna go there. But they're closed on Monday. So that sucked. But instead we went to Grady's, and I love Grady's. The food is like whatever, but the vibes are immaculate in there. I love the vibe in Grady's. Um, so we went there, and then we had driven past the Waken Bakery in Homewood, and we were like, all right, fine. So we went in there too, and we got little drinks. They had a blue raspberry matcha in there, and I was delighted. And I got it. It was so good. Loved that. That was so fun. And then we went and we picked up her kids from school. And it was so nice to have a reminder of how magical life felt back then. Like, I loved Eastview and I loved Columbia Central. And I had no idea of things. And like, that's an extreme like privilege, but like I just know having that innocence of like children around you was really cool for like a little bit, I'm not around. Even when I was a kid, I wasn't around kids very much other than when I was at like school functions, which is why I think I wanted to be at them all the time. And I don't know, it was cool. So we picked them up from school. And then we went to Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese. It was so much fun, dude. We had so much fun. And it was such a like that whole time period was such a nice reprieve from like I had gone from like throwing up that morning cuz y'all, if you know me, like getting in trouble is my worst nightmare. you know, I um I don't feel I don't feel guilty. There's like never gonna be a part of me that feels guilty for any of the work that I've done. I can feel mad at myself that I didn't navigate it a different way, but I'm never gonna be angry at me. Like me doing what I thought was the safest thing for other people. You know, like that's just not that's not in my vocabulary, and it never has been, and I've never been raised to not die on that hill. You know what I mean? Like fuck you, you know? So anyway, I got to go to Chuck E. Cheese, and that was super duper fun. Um and once we were done with that, the kids were pooped, which was super sweet. And I left shortly after we were done with Chuck E. Cheese, because I still had to drive up to the city afterwards, and I was tired. You know, like I had been doing shit for like 48 hours straight at that point, and I still had like another 16 to go. And So I took that time. I drove up to Brits, and it was oh my god. I was so happy to be able to spend that time after such a like anxiety ridden morning, to like spend that time with two people who make me feel very understood, and very they saw me through everything that turned me into who I am today. And so they just like they get it. And like being able to then discuss the parts of our childhood that the other one didn't get to be clued in during that time, um has been really nice and healing too. And so whatever, I got to spend that evening then with Brittney, and it was just so I felt like we were 16 again. You know, it was so sweet and fun to spend that time with her, and like ugh, you know, I love her so bad. Yeah, we got to debrief. I got to like cry and like be pissed off about it. And she she drove my car for me. We went to a little dispo. I got some old dog walkers, and then yeah, we had just like a nice night where we talked about our shit. We talked about like what we're nervous about and all that stuff, you know. And then I went to sleep, and I got to sleep in. Like that's another thing that if you know me, I wake up at like literally 4:30 every morning. And I have since I was a child. Like that was I actually don't want to get into it right now. I haven't even really started so if you recall during the conversation between Brittney and um I discussed like, hey, I didn't she was like, that sounds pretty hyper religious to me. That was one of the stick out moments of her and I's conversation that I took away for like a note for me to reflect on. Um, and I was like, damn, oh, was I more religious than I need to start unpacking my religious slash like, just like I was raised like a farmhand, and I didn't do chores like a farmhand, so I can't even really say that, but like I grew up with two parents who, as children, they were viewed as employees, and thus, even if they didn't want to view me as an employee and like promised themselves that they wouldn't, I think they couldn't help it. You know, like they couldn't help it. And like I think it is likely that like that was part of the incentive for my parents having children, you know. And that's okay to admit. Like it's not okay but like that was the norm for much of history, you know. And so it's not unheard of, I guess. Anyway, oh, waking up early, so I got to sleep in. Um, and because B, she stayed up. I've called her five different things this episode. Um, she she stayed up to like five reading because I had gotten up to go to the restroom and the dog started barking, and she was like, "I have not even slept yet." And I was like, period, queen. And like, she is so very stressed right now with like all of the things that she's got. She's got a lot of moving parts right now. And um, it's just like, yeah, girl, stay up late and read. We got all morning. Like, I took the day, like, I had taken the day off. So, fine. Yeah, of course, girl, I don't care. Um, and so we slept in a little bit. I did have canes, so I have broken the no fast food. But like, whatever, you know. I actually I haven't. That's probably the only fast food I have eaten. And even if I'm still like not watching what I'm eating for real, and like I don't know, I my body still just feels better because I'm not consuming fast food. I know that seems like a stupid useless revelation, like duh bitch, but like if you are looking for the sign to be like maybe I should try, just try it for like a week or two. You know, it doesn't have to be forever, but like give it a shot, you know. um it's baby steps. Listen, I've still I just because I haven't been eating fast food doesn't mean I haven't been binging. There have been a few times where I've binged, unfortunately. I've gotten a lot better over the last, I want to say, 6 months. um but sometimes the illness gone illness, you know what I mean? So, yeah, we had canes. Yeah, we woke up. So basically, the tea was once Brittney woke up, we we showered, got ready, and everything, and then we did. She got us lunch, which was very sweet. She like housed me and she fed me. I felt so like pampered and taken care of. Um, and then we recorded the episode and we had so much fun. I love it is it's really fun to do a like 2 hour long engaged conversation where neither of you are like checking your phone, neither of you are like trying to do anything but have this fucking conversation. And I was like a little nervous. I It's interesting. I was more nervous to do the episode with Brittney than I was with Carly because Brittney knows me for real, and that I think Carly does too. But like I, when I'm around people that I'm not fully comfortable yet, I still feel that need to like perform. We all perform, you know. And so I was like, holy shit, Brittney's gonna be watching me perform for the camera. It was just like so scary. It was like, oh my god. It was cool. But I had so much fun. I really enjoyed she and I's time, and I left there feeling so refreshed, even though the reason why I had to come home was like for this like fuck ass reason, you know? I was like, oh, I could live closer to home. And I started to like I've been thinking about this move for like 6 months at least. Cause I just I was like, I need to be near my support system. And I do have a support system here. I have like a pretty decent one. Um, but it's just so hard because like a lot of the people that I would like to interview are either from or in Illinois or in Michigan. And so like to get to either one of those things is like at least a 4 hour drive from where I'm at right now. And like, because I work remote, there's nothing stopping me. And so I've just been like, nothing set in stone yet, but I've been contemplating, I've been plotting. Because I did leave, I left the hearing just feeling so helpless of like, even if I want to do activism for real, from here it just feels too far away and like not, I can't make the impact that I want to make from here. Meetings would be harder. It just like all of those things. I know we could do virtual things. I'm just such an in person, want to make the impact where I can, when I can type of person. And so I don't know. There's a lot of reasons to move home. I found that I really liked improv. I'd like to start doing that in the city. There's just like there are some pros. So I'm doing some plotting. Don't take my word for it, but um that's the tea on that. So after Brittney and I were done recording, I basically left right after because I had a busy work week and I wanted to make sure that I had been neglecting work obviously that week because I had to take 2 days off and like um it's just like it work has been busy also, so like not only has it been busy like in social stuff but like here as well. And so I don't know, I've been sort of spread thin. Which I knew at the beginning of the year we had bought a lot of tickets to things in April. And so I knew that April in it of itself was going to be busy from a social standpoint. And then like that court stuff got added to it. And I just like, I'm exhausted, you know? But anyway, I'm not here to bitch. I'm here to just like talk about my life. So I came home on Tuesday night and I worked a little bit on Tuesday night and then like needed to play catch up the rest of the week. And so I did that. But then on Friday, it was Good Friday. So we left. I started work at like, I think like 5 a.m. so that I was like basically done with work so that my friend and I could go up to Minneapolis because we were going to see Kendrick and SZA for opening night. So yeah, I came home on Tuesday to make sure that all my like laundry was done. Dante got all packed up cuz so while I was at home doing shit, Dante went to daycare for one night and then came and popped in and like took care of him a little bit on Tuesday before I got home. And so he's fine. He's a very lazy boy, so he doesn't really care. Daycare was actually probably very exhausting for him to stay at overnight. But I had to get Dante's shit together, my shit together, and then we went. We drove up to Minneapolis, which I haven't been to Minneapolis um, I since my internship there. I lived there for about 3 months, summer of 2021, I believe, and it was so fun to be back. I love Minneapolis. It's one of my favorite cities. And we stayed a little bit outside of the city, so we weren't super stuck in traffic to get everywhere. But because Minneapolis is like driving infrastructure and road infrastructure is not built for the people that are in Minneapolis. And so there's a lot of traffic. There's more than you would suspect. And so we went to Mall of America on Saturday morning. And we had so much fun. We went to Carlos Bakery. If you know me, I wanted to be Cake Boss so fucking bad for most of my like early preteens. I wanted to open a bakery so fucking. I still do. I like that is one of my bigger dreams that I've had since I was a child. So we'll see. I don't know. There's like 10,000 dreams that I have. So we'll just have to figure it out when we figure it out. But I also found Divine Feminine. I don't know if you can see it, but um, Divine Feminine on vinyl is hard to come by. And it was in the Urban Outfitters in Mall of America. I was so fucking excited. And so I finally, when I got home from Minneapolis, we'll talk about the concert. I'm still talking about the vinyl. When I got home from Minneapolis, I finally made like a list of all the vinyls that I have and like the ones that I want and like that sort of thing. So that's exciting. I did like, my little collector nerd shit. So back to Mall of America, we went to Carlos Bakery, had a great time. We also went to Crave on Friday night. And Crave is like a Minneapolis, like one of their staples. If you go to Minneapolis, everyone suggests that you go there. It's like the touristy spot. I had an excellent Thai steak, so good. And then yeah, we had fun. Then we went to Kendrick and SZA. That I uh, it was so good. I I've seen both Kendrick and SZA before. They've both improved even since the last time I've seen them. I Kendrick is one of my biggest role models. Like, I love Kendrick Lamar, and I love SZA, and I had just like such a good time. I think it is well worth going if you have the opportunity to. I would try to make accommodations to go if you could. Um, it was good. I do want to talk about on opening night, there was a little mishap with one of SZA's dancers. And I'm a little annoyed because I just feel like I know y'all practiced a million times. And he didn't seem trained enough to be picking her up. Like, if you're going to have a dancer that performs those moves, you better make sure that you're working your shit off to be able to perform that seamlessly. Like, the whole thing of dancing is to make it look effortless. And Homeboy did not make it look effortless, not once the whole night. And I'm fucking pissed off on her behalf for it. Because that's not her problem. Like, this is her fucking tour, bitch. Like, figure it the fuck out. So that's really all I had to say about it. I'm annoyed on her behalf and I hope that he got fired. Sorry about it. Oh, yeah, I got this hat. This is SZA's hat. I have bad hat hair right now. Yep, this is SZA's hat. It says "Not Today" Satan on it, and then it has like the Grand National Tour like thingy. You probably can't hear that because my voice or like whatever. I hope y'all heard it. Anyway, today, so now that was last weekend. Sunday we just drove home. We had fun. We did stumble upon a Trader Joe's while we were in Minneapolis, uh, which was very fun. And then we just came home on Sunday. And then this week, I had a busy week at work. And then yesterday, I basically just rotted all day. I did run some errands. I like picked up a prescription, did some minor shopping, and like got my car all ready because tonight, Bestie and I are driving down to Milwaukee so that I can see Trisha Paytas. That's my girl. That's my girl. And I'm very fucking excited about it. So yeah, that's what my April looks like. My May is not much lighter as far as like shit happening, and my June isn't very light either. And some big things might be happening in July. So I'm gonna have some coffee, and we gonna buckle up for summer. All right. That's all I have today. I think I need to start getting ready for Trisha Paytas. I'm gonna wear a cutesy. I haven't decided. I bought this really cute pink dress from Mall of America last week, and I feel like this would be the place that I would feel like most safe to wear it. And then I could wear like her sweatshirt over top, so it's like dressed down a little bit. But what I was originally planning on was I have this cute black dress that's like backless, but I have pink cowgirl boots, and I was thinking that I was going to wear the pink cowgirl boots, but I know that I have to wear pink. So, you guys will see what it ends up being. Outfits are half of the fun. Outfits are like half the reason I'll be going places. So, yeah, one of my interests of mine. So anyway, um, that's all I think. Thank you for bearing with me. I know that sometimes I don't be saying the right shit, right? And that's not gonna stop. I'm not gonna magically start always saying the right shit. Um, there's gonna be times where I am gonna be like, "Hey, that shit that I said, that was wild." Sometimes there may be repercussions. I don't know, but I'll do my best to navigate it so I avoid it. You know. Um, but yeah, this is all just my opinion. Ain't shit for real that I'm spitting. That I mean, all of it is considered evidence that I did say, so it's considered true in a court of law. So that's all. Love y'all very much. Don't forget to wash your face, drink some water. And yeah, that's all. Love you. Bye.